Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Journey to Baby Jordan. So, you have saw the finding out I'm pregnant video. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I'm out of breath. If you have been here since the beginning, you've known about I've had surgery. They told me my right tube was stuck to the wall of my stomach. I had a size of a cyst, size of a grapefruit behind my tube. They had to go in and take out. They were in there for so long, they were going to have to go back in with a robot to literally get my tube off of my wall. This is the same tube I got pregnant off of. So that's why you hear me say all five tests. I'm like, something's wrong with this one too. After 15 years of seeing thin lines, it kind of does something to you. And I want to clarify something also. We've had missed miscarriages to where you see a line that really has no color. You're seeing a line. And then a week later my period would come. But in 2012, I was pregnant for 3 months and we lost our baby. That was my first miscarriage. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, I think, emotional in my life because I've never had so many mixed, confused feelings that I didn't know what to do with. When my when my father died, I knew I was gonna have to process certain steps of grieving. With losing a baby, those emotions go everywhere. I was pushing my husband away, but I wanted him there. I was an emotional wreck. It made it to where I didn't even want to have a baby for a year. I was that messed up, okay? I want to give y'all a short background story. So, I have had positive tests. In 2012, I actually had positive first response, never took a digital. I have an 18-year-old. I never took a pregnancy test with him. I knew the next day I was pregnant. Went to the doctor a week later. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how. My body was fresh then. I got pregnant at 16, had him at 16. So my body was on point. I was very much in shape and in tune with my body. Bring it all the way up to 2023, where we are now. For a doctor to tell you that your clock is ticking and that we're going to give it so much more time and then we'll send you to another doctor to look into IVF treatments. It kind of puts your mind in a certain place. So for him to tell me with my right tube everything I was going through, guys, in my head, like, this just can't be real. I'm sitting up here thinking, like, I'm gonna sue these pregnancy tests, companies, because you don't play with people's emotions like this. Like, you just don't do this. You got lines popping up. Like, why would you do this to someone who's going through so much? A lot of people would be like, you saw that line, you knew you were pregnant. I have seen lines out of this world that made me think I was pregnant, and I wasn't. But those lines look convincing. So when I saw pink, it did. And I had my husband there. It broke me down, y'all. It broke me down because in my head I'm like, this is trying to tell me something, but I'm not sure if this could be real, like, it's got pink in it though. It has to be real, right? Like, it has to be. When I seen pregnant, even though the same day I took that on 12 DPO is the same day I went to the doctor and he looked at my test and said, there's no need for me to run a test on you here. All these five tests are telling you you're pregnant. I took my blood work and I'm going to do another video on that. But I took my blood work. All this was on the same day on 12 DPO, y'all. So I had a lot of processing to do. And it it took me a minute to realize that, because when you have had miscarriages, your first couple weeks, you're almost waiting, like, every time I wipe, is it going to be something there? It's like it takes you a minute. Like, I got to get over this first week or two, I guess, to make it think it's real. And I know for a lot of people that probably sounds weird, but if you've ever had an early miscarriage, then you know what I mean about how before I can allow this to be real, I need to make sure it's real. I know. But my stomach, I'm not sure if you were paying attention in my 12 DPO video, what it already looked like. If you look at my other videos in my stomach is getting bigger earlier. And I don't know if that's because I have, they always say after you've had your first one, you gain weight quicker. But I'm gaining weight quicker and I'm running out of breath. That's why I got my signs and symptoms and 2 week waits. I got all that coming up for y'all guys. So I'm gonna keep you tuned in. But yeah, guys, I'm finally coming out of the shock phase. Uh Man, the things I've been feeling and going through, it's kind of one of these that everyone always says when you find out you're pregnant, that's when the symptoms hit you. I'm going to word it like this. Those symptoms were there, but you didn't want to get your hopes up to really look into them. And so you're just doing you. And I feel like once you see you're pregnant, that's when you start really opening your eyes. And the reason I say that is this whole time I've been writing down my symptoms in my book, but I was never paying attention to them. I even kind of stopped watching finding out I'm pregnant videos because I don't want to see one and be like, yep, I'm having it too. I'm gonna write that down. No. I wanted to make sure that's what it was. And I had so much going on in my life. I would just try to, if I noticed something, put it down because I had a lot of stuff going. That's why I say your body is already having basically high hormones. And as a female, if you're close to 12 DPO, it could be just your period coming. So you don't want to read too much into it. But yes, y'all, I'm pregnant and I am pregnant. I keep saying that and I keep watching my video, the making of it, because how I felt when I seen that pregnancy test and I looked at my husband, and it's funny because when I went when I went back and I watched the video and I'm looking at my husband, he's like he's like, she over here with this BS gonna try to tell me something it's not. Y'all, me and him were both shocked. We saw the pink line, but we were both shocked. I think if you've been told something and just seen something for so many years, it just becomes a reaction to see that, to feel that. So when you get your positive, no matter how long you've been waiting, when you get that positive, it is going to it's going to hit you in so many different ways. Especially if it's been over 5 years. When you get your positive, the only thing I could think about after I kept saying it can't be possible. I'm getting emotional. But in my head, I was saying, Father, I know you always said you would never forsake me, that you would never forget me, that you would always give me a season and a timing. But in my head, I just kept telling myself, it can't be this season and the timing. It's got to be at least the next month because of the sign. So all the time I give the Heavenly Father his blessing, his glory, because I know everything is about his timing. I've tried for years to do it on my time and it never worked. I can tell you that. But the Heavenly Father's timing is always on time. So if you are still waiting on your time, know when it comes, it is going to be beautiful. I love you guys, and y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye.